What is your American dream?
The American dream for me would be real happiness, real love, real tolerance, and acceptance.
Our American dream is we're definitely gonna own the Egyptian cuisine in New York City.
For every person, their dream is different. For me, it's just being independent, do what I love doing, be my own boss, and that's it, be happy,
My American dream is being able to start a business without any hassle, without any problems that arise in other countries when you do business, especially coming from a woman. That is my American dream.
My American dream is just to make my name like a household brand. Like I would love to be a designer where I'm able to employ people, make a business and grow.
My American dream would be to retire young before I'm 65, but I'm gonna say 55. Travel the world and do volunteer work with different people around the country.
My American dream is I'm happy here.
Just expanding financial literacy throughout my family, so continue generational wealth. That would definitely be the American dream for me. And I think that's the true American dream, actually.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Hey everybody, I hope you're doing great. I sure am. Brad's away in Vietnam, and you know what they say, when the boss is away, the groundhogs play. So I invited all my friends over, and guess what? We're having a groundhog party in Brad's office. Ain't nothing but a groundhog party. Come on in with me and join the fun. Woohoo! Oh no, my nipple tassel fell off. Seed, you had a Janet Jackson moment. Oh no, I need another shot. Yeah, you said it's fun, you're the best dancer. Look at those moves. Hey, George, what are you doing over there? My God. Jeez Louise, you're going to be loaded.
What the? Sam, what are you guys doing?
We're having a groundhog party. It's the best party in the world. Want to join? There ain't nothing like a groundhog party on it. It's the best.
No, I understand that, but not at Brad's office. You got all your sticks, your stones, your pine cones. Sam, you took out his black label.
I did. That's a problem?
Yeah, that's a problem. George is passed out.
Oh, George, he gotta learn how to take it easy.
He's gone. He just fell off.
Oh,
No.
George!
Listen,
George!
we're gonna fix that, but Sam, we are gonna have to move this party to the social media room. Brad knows that I like to drink. You guys finished his black label. He's gonna think it's me.
Oh, I wouldn't do that to you. I would tell him it was us.
Listen, I gotta save myself. Look, we can continue the party.
All right.
I'll even take a shot with you.
Woohoo! Okay, Jonathan's always fun to party with Shirley. Come on.
I got you.
All
right, I'll take the stuff.
Okay, we're all coming.
Come on.
Okay. All right, come on, everyone. We're out. Shirley, come on. You too. We're all going to keep this party moving. We're going to go to social media room, and we're going to have fun with Jonathan now, too. Get George going. Oh, George, always a problem. Wow. Okay, well, Jonathan is right. So I'm going to go party with everyone in the social media room, and then I'll come back and clean this up. Brad will never know. But, man, what a fun time to party in his office. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, good news, Brad Squad. Brad is back in town, and that means that Brad Show Live is starting up again. So today definitely is a reason to celebrate because we're coming back after Brad was away. So now is the time that you have all been waiting for. It is time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-host Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Enjoy and celebrate. Whoop. Yep. Oh yeah. I'm feeling that.
Welcome everybody, May 3rd. I am back. Thank God I'm back. Thank God you guys
stayed around to come back and watch me. Welcome back, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Hey, we're here. Woo. We're here.
And Belgium Kim, how are you?
Doing well. So happy to be back.
I'm excited. I like missed y'all.
Is this Christmas?
So it
Did
feels
I miss that this is Christmas?
No, this is not. There's no green in the outfits.
I know, but it looks like you're like ready for Christmas here.
It looks like we're ready to pop on our first day back, bro.
There
Is
you
that
go.
what it
Right,
is?
a pop
Is that
of
what
color.
it is?
That's what I chose. I was like, I'm gonna choose something bold.
And that's funny. That's exactly what I thought of. Because we did not plan
We
this.
did
I
not.
promise on
We did
everything.
not.
But I was like, I just want something bold, pop of
Yeah.
color, you know, spring,
Very
almost
nice.
summer.
You guys look very, very nice.
Thank you.
Wow, look how tan I look in the
I know,
monitor.
you do look,
so
you look
I'm
really
not as tan, I think, in person as I am on camera.
Yeah, you don't tell people that, though,
I
Brad.
know, but I think I look like.
It might be the red that's bouncing off of our sweat.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I'm like, oh my god,
That might be a thing.
I look like I was under a sun lamp right there, right? Like, who was the guy? What was that George? The guy who did Love at First Bite. George Hamilton.
George Hamilton.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about him sometimes.
We do talk about George
We talk about
Hamilton
him way too
frequently.
much. But everybody, welcome. And let me say hello to the squad, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dion Reed
been
says,
a
welcome,
lot.
welcome back each and every squaddy. I hope everyone is in the best of health. Big up. And First Lady Hewitt says, hi, squad. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying hello. Ramona Hazel says, yay, squad up, Brad, Kimmy, Yo-Yo, and the squad. Jasmine McDonald, how are you? Monica Laws, Patrona Collins. Why? I missed all these people.
Wow,
Yeah,
I know.
Right?
We
Wow.
realized
Look at that.
how
Marge
many people
Higgs. I'm like having a roll call here
right.
of Brad Squad, right? Christy Consali, how are you? Lisa Bling Rose, how do we not miss her, right? Says
Right.
squad up, everybody. Sandra Salinas, who pops up on my Facebook every so
Oh yeah,
often.
me too.
Yeah, she pops up on my Facebook
Did
every
she
so
send
often.
you that voice note?
I don't know, because I don't see my messages all the time, but she does. I see her and her, I guess it's her husband or boyfriend or somebody. I don't know who she is, she's hugging some man all the time.
She's hugging some man. She sent me
Yeah.
a voice note that was literally like, forward this to all the fierce queens, and it's like, hey queen, I'm just reminding you how fierce and amazing you are. And I'm just like, oh, Sandra.
Wait, why would Brad get that?
Yeah, I'm not a queen.
because it's good to be reminded that you're fierce.
Okay. Anyway, Janet Brad, how are you? Very good point, Jonathan. I didn't even think about that. Why would I get that message? And Aretha Sass Ray Simmons says, squad up, Beverly Thompson. Marissa Blake, by the way, if I don't say hello to you, we have so many people saying hello because we've been out for so long. We can spend 45 minutes saying hello to people here. I see you. I just can't say hello to everybody. Mia Bontak, how are you? Shango Oya Ogun. Shango Oya Ogun says, I see people try to take on the system on lose because they know it all. Very profound.
Well, the other thing that he said was, make sure that you get an immigration attorney, whatever you do.
At this point
Very
in juncture,
smart.
yes, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Joan Grant, how are you? Natalie Gale, Dawn Harriet, Leanna, Anna K. Moxham, how are you? Coco Al. And Kid C says, do you smell? He remembers that from our Halloween
Rock,
party.
yeah.
Our Halloween party special. Do you smell what Brad is cooking? Right?
That was funny.
Yeah. Donna Spence, how are you? I'm a survivor. Popping in from Arizona.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, Monique Barkley says, welcome back. Ja Love, how are you? So, by the way, Ja Love is always one of the first people to always say hello on YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube,
Always,
that's so
always
true,
right
yeah.
up there. Simone Garraway, how are you? Special Ops, Rococo Chocolat, how are you? And Carol the Top Cat, Tigers 2 Anderson, also known as Carol the Tiger. Marcine Fraser, Jamila Russell, Isha Sese, saying hello. Nicole Walters, Andre Spence, and Floyd Boyd has a question. We're going to get to your questions. I promise you I'm going to answer as many as I can. Tally. Is that right?
Tally.
Tally, or as I like to say, Thally.
Or Tolly.
Tally.
Who knows?
Who knows? Jord Ahmed, Semakaya, how are you? And Zacolo Brazo says, hello, guys. And I have to tell you, I said to you, welcome back, but I don't think you went anywhere.
I did.
Oh, you did go?
She did.
Where did you go?
Oh man, I went to a yoga wellness retreat in the mountains of North Carolina.
That
Was
is
that very?
pretty awesome.
Was that very like soothing?
Zen.
So
very
don't you guys see me soothed
She's like
and
glowing,
mellowed?
like her face is all clear. And
Do you know how many Buddhist temples I've seen in the last 2 weeks?
Far more than I
Far
have.
more, right. Well, because there is like a bit of Buddhism and Zen and
Totally,
yoga.
and you were
Right.
there during the Buddha moon.
Right.
There was the Buddha moon
Yes.
that happened.
Ah.
Yes, but I learned that I didn't do very well on the Brad challenge, and I look more like the happy Buddha, who's the fat Buddha.
Well, you did say that you thought that you were gonna lose weight going to Vietnam.
No, there's no
Didn't?
no, there's a lot of good eating there.
It was a lot of good eating.
Well, first of all, I went. By the way, I was on 8 airplanes in 14 days. I zigzagged all over Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
I started in Hanoi, which was the capital of North Vietnam. It still is the capital of Vietnam, but it was that is Vietnam right there, and that was also where President Nixon bombed Hanoi back to the Stone Ages.
Oh, wow.
What I learned, that is also Hanoi. That's one of the Buddhist temples in Hanoi. And what I learned, which I didn't know, because they only teach you the American side of the war. I will tell you, first of all, that is also in Hanoi. It's an old railroad track that goes through, there I am there, that goes through, right through the middle of the old city in Hanoi. It was really cool, and there's like all these bars right along the railroad tracks. But what I learned is that in addition to 50 million Americans who died during the Vietnam War, and that is the entrance to one of the Buddhist temples in Hanoi. But in not only did 50 million Americans, but over 4 million, 50,000 Americans died during the Vietnam War. Over 4 million Vietnamese died. One out of 10 Vietnamese. They still love Americans there for the most part. I didn't meet anybody who wasn't very, very pro-American. This is inside the one of the Buddhist temples. And what it really goes to show is America went to war. This is what I take away from going to Vietnam. America went to war, and 4 million plus people died in a war for 10 years. And it destroyed the social fabric not only of the United States, but of Vietnam as well. And granted, they are a communist authoritarian government, but in essence, it's really an authoritarian government. It's not a communist government.
Right.
And we went to war to stop communism, but it's a capitalist society and it's a thriving country.
Right.
And yes, maybe they're not as rich as we are here in America, but there's people, they own property, they own businesses, they're happy for the most part, and they all want to do well.
Yeah.
And it's a capitalist society. And we went to war to stop communism, and it
That's
would have happened anyway.
Right.
And that's
Just by so that's what I take away from it. I'm now more anti-war than ever before after going there.
And you were kind of a pacifist, but already before you were pretty heavily
So I don't know what other
before.
pictures. So then I went to Laos. And I don't know if we have the video. I sent the video to Jill. I went to Laos. I got up at 4:30 in the morning. The monks go in Luang Prabang. They get up at 5 in the morning, and they actually parade down the street. Here they are parading down the street.
Oh, wow.
And the people on the street give them rice. And this is how they feed themselves. And I was on the street giving rice too, but they walk really fast by you, and I was trying to get rice into every bowl, but they walk past. It's too bad.
They don't even stop.
They don't stop,
Wow.
and they don't look at you. They don't smile because they're not allowed to look at anybody, and they're certainly not allowed to look at women. So my girlfriend, nobody was looking at her.
Wow.
And I said to myself, well, this doesn't make sense. Why would you? Because I asked this. I said, why would you ask these monks who, if you want to give charity to them? Because here in the West, if we want to give charity, you go to a church, you drop off food at the church, right? You drop off clothes at the church.
Right.
Why do you make them parade down the street? It seems almost like a little beneath them that you're asking them to beg for food.
That's it,
and
right.
everybody is just taking food and throwing it in their bucket. And the answer that I got, because I said it didn't seem right to me, and the answer that I got was that they don't want to be disturbed while they're praying in the monastery.
Oh wow.
So they're so into their into their meditation and whatever they're doing, that somebody's stopping by and ringing the doorbell of the monastery to
that
say,
makes sense.
here's some food,
Right.
Would disturb whatever their religious customs that they're doing.
That makes sense. And I'm sure, sometimes you need some air too. So I'm sure they want
they get to go
They
out.
look forward to that
So
walk.
that was my trip. I went to Cambodia as well, and then I made it home. But I was on 7 different planes in 14 days.
Wow,
That's crazy.
7.
And almost every day I was up. There I am, with a Vietnamese woman in a village somewhere, and there's a whole bunch of other pictures. I don't know if you have. Oh, this is the rice paddies up in the mountains, and they are planting for the rice season. People in the rice fields, and
That's gorgeous.
yeah. So that was.
my God.
Yes. So this is Halong Bay, and Halong Bay is one of the natural wonders of the world. It's the United Nations protected zone. Very beautiful bay with beautiful rock formations.
That's gorgeous.
And, it was really pretty. This is the sunrise. I was up at 5:30 in the morning. And you ask why I was up at 5:30 in the morning.
Why were you always
Because
Who gets out at 5:30 during vacation?
because it's 12-hour difference. And as soon as I finally got used to being there, and I was finally sleeping until 8, 9 o'clock at night after 2 weeks. I'm getting on a plane coming back to New York.
Oh my
Yes.
God! That 12-hour time difference will kind of
Yes.
kill you, though. I remember.
So
that.
meanwhile, and this was some Vietnamese show that we saw, and I don't know what they were singing, but there was some attractive people on a boat singing, and it was a 30-minute show. It was very cute.
That's amazing.
And this was in where was this? This is in Halong Bay as well.
This is really cute.
Yeah. And that was kind of my trip. That's what I did.
Man,
That's awesome.
beautiful.
And Jonathan, you? What were you up to? You were working.
I was working.
You were working, making money.
Making that money.
Making that money, right? So meanwhile, we still have to announce who our squad, what do we call it? The squad member of the day?
Our Brad Squad Spotlight.
Our Brad Squad Spotlight. Thank you very much. I'm still on Vietnamese time. Our Brad Squad member of the day. Where did that come from, right? Our Brad Squad Spotlight. And in our spotlight today, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Who is it?
It's Willie L. Williams.
Oh!
Yay!
Showing
Mr.
the
Strongman.
gun.
Yes, he's actually a United States citizen. He lives in Tennessee.
Yeah.
He celebrated his 56 years old. Let me see that picture again.
Oh,
He doesn't look 56. Well, young. He's 56 on May 25th. He's an Army veteran. He now works as a truck driver. He loves classical music since he was from an early age. Plays the piano, the violin, the tuba, and a bass guitar. How many truck drivers do you know play a piano, a violin, a tuba, and a bass guitar?
Check that out.
You know what? Zero, right? 0 and now 1.
He loves to cook. He loves to go to the movies. And his favorite genres are horror movies and comedies.
Hey.
He got hooked on Brad a few years ago and now listens to us on the road. He loves the Brad Squad. He even sent me a Brad Challenge inspiration.
I was about to say,
Yes.
he looks like
And,
he could help.
what is the inspiration? Do we have it?
We do.
There.
That's his
wow.
picture.
There he is at 314.
334.
I can't read.
Yeah.
And now what is he? Oh, look at
Oh,
him
wow.
now.
Today.
What is
wow.
We 245.
He must have been
Wow.
pushing his truck. All right.
Pulling it.
Apparently, he didn't put any gas in the truck,
Right.
and he was kind of pulling it
Wow.
along, right?
He has not met any of his deadlines, but he's lost 100 pounds.
Exactly.
Jeez.
So that's Willie
Way to
L.
go,
Williams.
Willie.
Wow, I learned a lot about Willie L. I didn't know any of that about Willie L. Williams whatsoever. I love Brad Squad Spotlight.
Don Harriet actually says he's single too.
Oh! Dawn Harriet.
Who's trying to make a love connection with Willie L. Williams?
Let him know.
We got-
I
Look at
like
his
him.
DM.
He sounds like a bit of a Renaissance man, right?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he
A
plays all the,
A true catch.
Oh man, an Army veteran.
Army
he
veteran.
can protect you. He can drive you around.
Got benefits.
He can play some music for you.
That's
Take you on
right.
dinner and a movie date. Come
Yeah.
on, ladies, slide up in his DMs.
All right, so Willie L. Williams. And with that, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Belgium Kim, before I get into schmoozing with Brad, why don't you tell everybody what they need to do? What's so funny?
Martin.
What'd she say?
Is
Is he single? I'm asking for a friend. I'm waiting for a response. Look at this. Can you imagine? I'm going to tell you something. If there is ever a wedding between two members of the Brad Squad, I will figure out how to ordain myself to administer the wedding if I would be asked to do it.
What? Brad, that's really quite the change because I believe 6 months ago you said that if anybody ever got married, we would pay for the wedding.
Well, now,
pay for it?
I never said pay for it, but now that it appears that it's getting closer, I'll just officiate at the wedding.
Would that be awesome though? A Bradshaw Live wedding?
Yes, that would be great.
Pretty awesome.
That would be great. All right, so Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, Belgium Kid, why don't you tell everybody what they need to do to help us share the show while I get ready to see what the news of the day is.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we are back. 2 weeks and a half, basically, of waiting for us to come back, and the numbers are showing. We need you guys to continue this right now by sharing. The only way we can get this show out is through you. So everybody share. The way to share is press that little arrow that says share. Share it to anybody's page, share it to different groups, but most importantly, let's share it to the inbox. You can make a group of friends on your Facebook and just share it directly into the inbox, all right? And everybody, please, let's start a watch party. When you start a watch party, it sends a little ding notification to all of your friends, and you guys can watch it on your page, and then you can come back into the Brad Squad, type what you want to type. And speaking of typing, we definitely want you guys to interact. I know you guys have so much to say because we have not been on for so long. So tell us everything and anything that you guys want to talk about, anything that's going on in your lives. We're definitely interested. Please like, love, laugh, wow, sad face, mad face, whatever you're feeling, make sure you show it to us. And also send in your social media questions because we will be reading them soon. And what are we going to do on YouTube, Kimmy?
On YouTube. You guys are going to keep asking us all of your social media questions because as you can already see, a lot of people are getting theirs in and we ask them first come, first serve.
Yes.
So drop them in right now. Also, make sure that you have hit that subscribe button and that little bell right next to it because you never know exactly when we're going live. So make sure that you hit the bell and you'll always get the notification and you'll get emails when we upload amazing new videos to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure, family, the most important, there's 120 of you watching on YouTube right now, and I know we got some new faces out there. So, I need you guys to share the show. I need you guys to let your friends and family know, he's over there flexing, that Jonathan flexes, and we answer immigration questions absolutely free. And by we, I don't mean we, I mean Brad Bernstein, the immigration attorney, the guru, the man. So make sure that you share the show. Make sure you let them know exactly what they're going to see. And you're going to copy that link, send it in a WhatsApp message, send it in a text message, send it by carrier pigeon. I want that link everywhere, family.
Carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeon.
I like carrier pigeons. I would love to see that actually happen.
I would love for someone to write down our link, put it in a little carrier pigeon.
And a video of that, and we will put it on our show, right?
We'll put it on our show. And it doesn't even need to be $1 million racing pigeon. And now, the time that you have all been waiting for, it's the time where you are schmoozing with Brad.
So when I was on a plane coming back from, by the way, it's a 16-hour flight back from Southeast Asia,
Right,
direct.
yes.
It's weird, when you fly there, you fly over the North Pole, which was strange. I never, because you watch the map as you go along, the moving map, and I'm like, where am I? And I'm like somewhere over the North Pole. Yeah, on the way back, you fly over the Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I was flying back, I landed. I saw that there was a boat collision, and I saw this in the news as well. 7 Korean tourists died in Budapest. Apparently, a tour boat bumped into another boat on the Danube. Danube? How do you pronounce it? Danube or Danube River that flows from Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, goes into Austria eventually. And 7 South Korean tourists died. Over 33 were injured. None of them were wearing life preservers. There's 21 more people who are missing that may very well be dead as well. And it's funny because when I was in Vietnam, they were making us wear life preservers. I'm like, this is so silly. Why am I wearing this life preserver? The boat's going 5 miles an hour. I feel very silly doing this. And it's probably what they were doing as well. And maybe they weren't forced to wear their life preservers. And it was 11 o'clock at night. It was dark. One boat ran into another boat. Everybody went overboard. And even though you think it's a small little river running through the middle of a city, all these people, unfortunately, died. And there's more people who are missing. It's a very sad situation going on there. Robert Mueller also, when I was on the plane. A lot happened when I was on this plane. There was no internet connection on the plane. I landed to all of this news.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's an interesting.
It was crazy, yeah.
Talk about turning off airplane mode.
Yeah,
My
I was
God.
like, wow, I had 16 hours of pure bliss, and then I covered to all of this. So Robert Mueller made his first comments. I don't know if you followed this or not, Jonathan. And he was closing his office. He was closing his office. He's going back into private life as of tomorrow. So he had a 10-minute impromptu press conference that Donald Trump did not approve of. And nor did Attorney General William Barr. They didn't even know it was going to happen.
Right.
He just went up and did a 10-minute press conference. And he said, quote, "If we had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so." This is, let me say that again.
Please.
Okay? Because there's a double negative in there. Okay? All right. If we had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so. So that means that they believe he did commit a crime.
We are not confident.
Right.
He didn't.
And he said the only reason why he did not try to indict Donald Trump is because there is a regulation by the Justice Department that says a sitting president can't be indicted. Right. And what he said is that what his report does is either allows the Democrats and who's in Congress to impeach him, or when the president is no longer in office, if a prosecutor chooses to follow up on the evidence that he has, they can pursue it. And why he did what he did and why he did it as fast as he did is he wanted to preserve people's memories of what happened.
Right.
So people don't come back 5-6 years later after the president is out, or hopefully in 2 years after he's out of office, to say, I don't remember what happened.
Right.
But at the moment, he cannot be indicted. He can only be impeached. And if he's impeached, then he can be indicted criminally because he's a private citizen. Now, the Democrats say they don't want to impeach him because they think that he would get sympathy from the Republican voters.
Right.
It would get Republicans all lathered up to come out to the ballot box.
Right.
And put him back into office.
So now, you can come back into office after you get impeached?
Yeah, because impeachment, let me tell you how it works. Impeachment is, when you go to the grand jury, the grand jury indicts you, that's what impeachment is. So impeachment is like an indictment by the House of Representatives. So it's like the grand jury indicting you. Doesn't mean you're guilty yet. Then you go to a trial, like in a criminal case, the trial is in the U.S. Senate. Who is the jury in the trial? The U.S. Senators. Since there are more Republicans than Democrats in the U.S. Senate, the theory is that even if he gets indicted, which means impeached, and goes to the Senate for the trial, because there's more Republicans than Democrats, that ultimately he will be found innocent. And then he will then walk around and say, you see, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
And he'll get all, and he'll use that to come back and win the election in 2020. Now,
Lord
if history is a guide, the last Bill Clinton was impeached.
Right.
Okay, but because the Democrats controlled the Senate, he ultimately was not thrown out of office. Now, his crime was lying under oath about having a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky.
Right.
And then the other thing is whether he inhaled weed or not. Okay, so
I didn't even
remember
know
that? Yes,
Yeah,
but right. I smoked it, but I didn't inhale it. Right. But ultimately,
Now,
exactly.
Bill.
Come on, right?
Come on.
But ultimately, he was impeached for lying under oath about having a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky.
Right.
Now, Donald Trump's crimes are substantially greater.
Yeah.
This is not about having sex with Vladimir Putin. This is about Vladimir Putin helping the man become president of the United States and undermining the core of our democracy here in the United States of America.
Yes.
And then after that, obstructing the investigation into what he did or didn't do about getting help from the Russians.
Right.
So there's a big difference. Now, if you go back to the last impeachment prior to that, Richard Nixon.
Right.
During the Watergate scandal, What did Richard Nixon do? He tried to undermine the core democratic principles of the United States of America. He had his people break into the Democratic headquarters to steal materials to use against them for his election. What did Donald Trump do? He had WikiLeaks steal things from the Democrats to use it against them, and possibly even got help from the Russians to use it against them. So it's very similar, closer to Richard Nixon than it is to Bill Clinton. Because we're not accusing Donald Trump of having sex with Putin, we're accusing him of stealing or having people associated with him steal from the Democrats, and then him obstructing justice in terms of preventing people from investigating what he did or didn't do. So when Richard Nixon, during the Watergate, when the impeachment proceedings started, the economy was humming. And his approval rating was at 67%.
Wow.
So what happened was after he got impeached by the House of Representatives, and they had a Republican majority in the Senate, similar to what's here, and people started testifying every day about what Richard Nixon did, what his people did. I was 4 years old, so I don't know what was. I don't know anything about it. And I didn't learn about it in school because it was too early in history when I was in high school.
To be
and
part of the history class.
So I'm just telling you how I understand what happened. So his people testified, and as his people were testifying and people were seeing this on television, it started making Richard Nixon look very, very bad. And then eventually Republicans said, we can't protect him anymore. People are starting to turn against him because he's making him look bad. People watch every day all the bad things he did on television. It's different to read something than to watch the movie.
Okay? 100%.
All right? There's a big difference between reading a 400-page encyclopedia and watching the movie.
Absolutely.
All right? So people started watching the movie, seeing what Nixon was doing bad every day. Republicans started turning against him because the people who were watching started turning against him. And then the Republicans said, if you don't resign, we're going to throw you out of office. And that's how ultimately he resigned and left. So the people who are behind the impeachment, now Pelosi is thinking politics. Okay, Pelosi's thinking politics, but there's a lot of people, especially the progressive Democrats, who are saying, look what happened with Nixon. We should impeach, put this on television, and we think that we can make Donald Trump look bad enough that the Republicans will start peeling away. Now, what Robert Mueller added at the end of his press conference, besides saying there was no witch hunt, because he said everybody was fair and honest and they did what they had to do. What he said is when a subject of an investigation obstructs that investigation or lies to investigators, it strikes at the core of their government's effort to find the truth and hold wrongdoers accountable. And he was basically goading the Democrats into starting an impeachment process. So we will see what happens. Now, Donald Trump, because we want to be, quote, fair and balanced. Who says that? Fox, right?
Fox.
Says, nothing changes from the Mueller report. There was insufficient evidence, and therefore, in our country, a person is innocent. The case is closed. Thank you.
Wow.
That was his response to this.
Oh, gosh.
I don't... Here's my question, Brad.
Yes.
Is what could impeachment... is people coming and talking about all of the things that Donald Trump did wrong, how would that be different than the last 2 years of wrongdoing we have? We have interviews of Donald Trump obstructing justice.
Because I think there's an actual trial, so when you watch somebody testify under oath, it's different than watching
news stories
and pundits.
Okay.
That's what the theory is.
That's what the theory is.
I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm in the Pelosi camp. Every time I hear Pelosi talk, I say, yeah, I'm convinced we shouldn't do it.
I'm like, she's right.
Right, she's right. And then when I hear, well, you know what, this is what happened with Richard Nixon, I go, well, then maybe we should impeach.
That's true, right.
I'm kind of on the fence right now. I haven't made up my mind yet. If I was a congressperson, I wouldn't know what to do. Honestly, I wouldn't know what to do.
But it's tough because it's tough to compare it with Nixon too, because we live in a different media age.
Right.
People have way more information now than they ever did.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued to see how
Meanwhile,
this
there's only so far one Republican who's peeled away so far.
Yeah,
his name is Justin Amash. He's actually part of the Freedom Caucus, so he was an extreme conservative. The Freedom Caucus is the most conservative Tea Party members. He's up in Michigan, and he feels very, very secure in his seat. He doesn't feel he needs the help of Donald Trump to keep him getting reelected. And in a series of tweets on Saturday, May 18th, Justin Amash tweeted his key takeaways from the release of the Mueller report. He said, 1, Attorney General Barr has deliberately misrepresented Mueller's report. Now, this is a conservative Republican. 2, President Trump has engaged in impeachable conduct. 3, partisanship has eroded our system of checks and balances. 4, few members of Congress have read the report.
Wow.
And basically, what he's saying, in a nutshell, is that he's standing up for the institution of the Congress.
Right.
Okay, that they are a co-branch of government. There is a president, executive, and there is a Congress. They are co-branches of government. They should, in theory, under the Constitution, have equal power. But at this moment, he's saying that if Congress doesn't go to punish Donald Trump, then what basically we're doing is we are giving the President of the United States full authority to do whatever he wants, break any law he wants, do anything he chooses to do, write any law he chooses to do, enforce any law he chooses to do, decide whether we go to war, we don't go to war, fund walls, don't fund walls. It doesn't matter whether Congress funds anything. It doesn't matter whether Congress does anything, because if we let President Trump get away with crimes, and he sees we can get away with crimes, then basically what we're saying is this man is the king.
Right.
Because he can't be held accountable for anything.
He's absolutely right.
He can't be held accountable for anything. So what Justin Amash is saying is he's standing up for the institution of the Congress.
Good for him.
And he's saying Congress has power too, and if we give up this power and we don't impeach Trump, then what we're doing is we are giving the power of the government to Donald Trump. He can do whatever he wants. If he's not going to get impeached for obstructing justice and fixing an election, whether it was him or others, fixing an election to help him win over the Democrats, for encouraging WikiLeaks to go steal emails, for encouraging Russia to go and help him win an election. If we are not going to hold him accountable as an institution of Congress, he can do whatever he wants. He's the king.
Absolutely.
That's basically what he's saying. So he's siding more with the institution of Congress than he is siding with a Republican or a Democrat.
And Amash is completely right. If you're the leader of the free world and you can go on national television and say things like, I was thinking about Russia when I fired the head of the FBI, and that's a clear obstruction of justice, he's absolutely right. What do you stand for?
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin Amash.
All right. So with that, there's a lot more news, but we got to get to immigration questions because we have a lot.
We do.
We have a lot to do here. Yes. So Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, Belgium Kim. We'll talk more news tomorrow. We'll get more updated on everything, but we do. It's already almost 6:30.
Yeah.
And we got to get to immigration questions.
Yeah, we do.
Why don't you tell everybody to tell their friends to call in right now with their immigration questions?
Absolutely. Okay, family, this is the part you have all been waiting for. It's the time where the immigration guru Brad Bernstein is going to answer all your immigration questions. The only way that people know to call in with their immigration questions is if they know about the show. So you need to make sure to share it. On Facebook, you guys are going to hit that share button. You're going to share it as a private message. You're going to start groups, inbox groups, all those text chains you always talk about, talk to people, you get a million notifications, send it in there. Also, if you want to let all of your friends know that you're watching Brad Show Live, start a watch party. Hit share, start a watch party, and you'll start it. All of your friends will be in one separate little comment box. How delightful is that? Also, make sure that you let us know everything you think and feel in these comments, because you know these callers got issues. You know we're going to help. So make sure to let us know exactly how you think and feel. And make sure to drop those social media questions right now, because we already have a million to ask. So make sure that you get yours in time so you can hear that answer, family. And on YouTube, Yo-Yo, what do they do?
Absolutely. On YouTube, you guys also have to share. We have to share on YouTube because our subscriber count keeps on going higher and higher every day. And that's literally all because of you guys. So in order to share it, all you have to do is press that little arrow, share it to, your social media. You can share it directly into your Twitter account. You can share it directly into your Facebook page. You can share it even on Instagram. But most importantly, what we want you to do is copy that link and share it in a WhatsApp group. So just put together a group of friends, family, even strangers that you think might need some immigration advice or just think that this is very entertaining, because we are a pretty entertaining bunch. And share it, all right? So make sure you guys do that right now. And if you're watching, everybody right now, press that thumbs up and subscribe. We need to make sure that we show love to the video and to the show, so everybody understands that this is an actually good show. So it's all in your hands, all right? And make sure you guys also put in all of your social media questions in the comments section right now. We have so much already, but we're gonna try and get to all of them. So make sure you put all yours in, as because y'all have really been hitting me up in my DMs about y'all questions, and y'all know I'm not the guru. This guy's the guru, all right?
What do you think? Jonathan's gonna give a free answer?
I was like,
Jonathan's gonna say the 4x130.
131. So you guys, make sure you put in all of your social media questions and comments of whatever we're gonna be talking about right now, because I know this is one of your favorite parts of the show. And here it is, where you call and Brad gives you answers with getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, so Nabil in Greensboro, North Carolina, Jonathan and Kim, has been waiting 61 minutes
my
for this question.
The North Carolinians really show up. And now,
Nabil, how are you, sir? Nabil.
oh, come on.
Come on, Nabil, 61 minutes. You got to say hello.
You have to.
Oh, come on, Nabil, please.
Nabil,
you're killing me, Nabil.
Whoa, what?
Please.
Van's waited 61 minutes. All right, we're going to put Nabil on hold. Someone flight out to Greensboro and tell him to pick up his phone. All right, let's go to Hassan. Hassan in Montgomery, Alabama. Hassan.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yes, sir, I'm doing good. How are you today?
Fabulous. What's going on?
I have two questions.
Sure.
One is, I've been arrested with the IAS on 2017 January, but I married to a U.S. citizen 2016, and I filed 15 December 2016.
Okay.
And they put me on removable processing.
Why were you out of status on what? You were out of status on what? What was the first part you said?
Oh, I came here USA on F1 visa.
On a student visa.
Yeah.
Okay. And when were you put in removal proceedings?
They catch me on the work.
When?
They said I didn't be in school, and they catch me on the work.
When?
It happened 2017 January.
So that was after you got married.
And I got married 2016.
Okay. And how come you 2016 you got married? When did you file your adjustment of status application?
2016, 15 December.
So you had a work permit, didn't you? From the adjustment?
No, that time I had just a fingerprint, and I didn't get my work permit yet.
Okay, and they put you in removal. What happened?
Then I get bond out by $10,000. And after that, I had an interview for I-130 and I-485. And that's happened on 2017, November 15, my interview happened.
Right.
So after that, I've been in the court, and they give me another 30 days.
Did you
talked
pass
with the congressman.
One second. You skipped a whole part. Did you pass the I-130 interview?
No, they didn't approve yet. It's been pending almost 30 months.
They have not approved your I-130 yet, and you've been going to immigration court. And when you go to immigration court, what is the judge saying to you?
Just giving me first time, they gave me 90 days more, so USCIS can take a decision.
What did the judge say the last time you went to court?
My court asking for another court date, so they gave me another court date.
All right. So you're an immediate relative. Let's talk this out. You're an immediate relative. You got married before you were put in removal. You had an adjustment filed before you were put in removal. You were caught working without a work permit because it wasn't issued to you yet, although you were eligible for it. They gave you a $10,000 bond. They've been making you go to removal hearing for the last 30 months. You went on an interview for your green card. I assume, unless you tell me otherwise, I assume everything's good with you and your wife, and you live in a bona fide marriage with her. Is that correct? Hassan?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's true?
Yes.
Okay, so if that's true, the government owes you a green card immediately. And why do they owe you a green card immediately? Because you filed an adjustment and you were married to your wife before they even put you in removal. You're an immediate relative. You don't have to do anything more than what anybody else does who wasn't put in removal, other than ask the judge to terminate your proceedings, which they won't do because Donald Trump won't allow that judge to do it anymore. And immigration is dragging their feet more than 30 months approving your I-130 on what I'm going to presume is a bona fide marriage. So you do what Abadir says to do all the time. You sue the government. They owe you a green card. They owe you 2 years ago a green card. They took 2 years of your life away from you. You're entitled to
sir.
it. So you file what's called a mandamus. You force them to do
question-
their job. And what more can they do? They already put you in deportation, so they can't do any more to you. They can't put you in deportation a second time. So you got nothing to lose. That's what you do.
Yes, sir. My question is like, who can take the decision on my I-485, the USCIS or the like immigration court?
The USCIS has the authority to do both your adjustment, has to approve your I-130 first. What should happen is this. Your I-130 should get approved, and then you go back to the court. They should terminate your proceedings. They won't terminate your proceedings till the I-130 is approved, and then immigration will approve the I-485. That's the order it has to go by, okay? Nobody's doing anything on your case right now. I would file a mandamus action immediately. Force the government to do what they are required to do, which is approve your case, and if it's a bona fide marriage. You're married to a United States citizen. They're withholding your benefits.
Okay. And one more thing, sir. I've been in the January 2019 on the 4th. I've been info pass with the immigration office with Atlanta, like in the Montgomery office, and they're telling me my case been get approved. I should get my green card in my mail, but I didn't receive nothing. And they tell me, okay, your file is in Atlanta. We're gonna get back to in our office.
So how longer do you want to have your I'll be a little crude, have your chain jerked around?
They put me on 2020 on June 16. They're gonna ask me like
how much longer do you want your chain to be jerked?
Sorry, sir, I didn't understand.
It's an American saying. You'll get to know it once as you live in America longer. Jerking your chain basically means is they're screwing with you. Okay? How much longer do you want to be screwed around with? USCIS is not on your side. ICE is not on your side. USCIS used to be on your side years ago under Barack Obama, not anymore. Okay? So, I mean, you can go around and ask and ask and ask and ask. Okay, and I went to the Montgomery office. They told me my file's in Atlanta, and they're going to transfer it here, and then they're going to transfer it there, and bureaucracy, 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 bureaucracy. Month after month after month, you have no green card. And you should never even been put in deportation. Shouldn't even have to have put a bond up. It's ridiculous. You had an adjustment filed. So how much longer, my question to you is, how much longer do you want to be jerked around? If you want to continue to be jerked around, then keep making your info pass appointments. Otherwise, I would just file a mandamus. You'll be done in 90 days. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's go to Junior in Salt Lake City, Utah. Junior. Junior.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good, Brad. Nice to meet you.
Nice
I watched
to meet
your
you.
show on the YouTube. Man, you're a good man.
Thank you. What's going on?
Yes, I came here on United States on January 20, 2003, and my visa expired 2012. So I'm overstayed. On May 29, 2010, I got a DUI and a marijuana charge for the first time ever, and 1.0 grams. So I'm married right now, and I marry a citizen, U.S. citizen, on February 2nd. 2019. So what should I do? Should I file for a green card or wait?
Well, you should file for a green card, but you're going to need an attorney. 1.0 grams, that's like a speck. Right? Or am I wrong?
What's that?
It's 1.0 grams. I'm not
Yes.
a marijuana expert, but I understand like 30 grams is enough for like a joint. So like,
it's 1.0 grams.
1.0 grams is like
It's
like a leaf.
Leaf. Yeah,
Literally a leaf. Now, were you found guilty of 1.0 grams? Is that what you were found
Yes.
guilty of? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So believe it or not,
some of it.
believe it or not, like 1.0 grams, you need a waiver. So you can't. You don't wait to file anything these days. You need to get a green card. You've been out of status for 17 years. So you got to file something. But also know that you need a waiver. Okay? And you need a waiver because even 1.0 grams of marijuana is an inadmissible offense. A DUI is not inadmissible. All right? So you don't have to worry about the DUI other than admit it happened. But you need a waiver for the 1.0 grams of marijuana, believe it or not, based on hardship, extreme hardship to your spouse. So my answer to you is, you said, should I file? The answer is no. Should I wait to file? The answer is no. What you need to do is you need to file with a very competent attorney who can do a good waiver for you. And you should do that now.
Okay.
So
should I get in trouble if, just for example, if I waive and it's okay, then the time I go do to my interview, should I in trouble on that time? Like,
if you do a good waiver, you wouldn't be in trouble. Everything should be okay.
Okay.
All right. So hold on one second. Okay. Hold on one second. All right. All right. Let's go to Mike in Richmond, Texas. Mike.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I basically have like 2 to 3 questions. The first one is, I came here on a C1, C-out-of-1 visa, on a marriage visa. Then after I got my 2 years green card, the marriage did not work. So we got divorced, and I filed in for a removal of condition. But it's been 8 to 9 months. I haven't received my any information.
You got an extension, right?
Yes, they gave me an extension, but I was supposed to be scheduled for a fingerprint. I have not received that, and it is more than
as long
months
as you got the extension, you're okay. They're taking about 18 months. If you based it on a divorce and it was a bona fide marriage, I wouldn't be overly concerned at this point. They're taking a very long time. If after 18 months you still haven't heard anything from anybody, then give me a call.
Yeah, and the other thing, because when I called USCIS, they were like, the lady told me that when the condition is removed, because I asked, I said, well, after the condition is being removed, can I wait? How long do I have to wait to naturalize myself as a citizen? Well, she told me after the condition is removed, March 29, because March 29 is basically going to make me 3 years in the United States. She told me that I can file in for citizenship.
Okay,
I don't know how true is that.
That's false. That's 100% false. It's not even remotely true. That's how bad the information that immigration gives you. They don't even give you basic. That's Immigration 101 knowledge. Not even 201 or 301, 101. 101 is like your entry-level college class, okay? And when you call immigration, this is a really good point, okay? I want everyone to know. When you call immigration, you're speaking to an outside contractor who's hired by USCIS to answer the phones, and they have zero responsibility for if they give you wrong advice. You know who's screwed? Not the person on the phone, you. And you can't go back and say, oh, I called immigration and they said it's okay. Too bad. Okay? So the answer to your question is this. Because you got divorced from your spouse, you have to wait 5 years from the time you got your green card, not 3 years. So when did you get your conditional green card?
2017.
Okay, so you wouldn't be eligible, assuming you remove the conditions, whenever that happens, which should be in another 6, 8, 9 months. You won't be eligible to file your citizenship till 2022.
Okay, 2022. And the other question is, when I was doing my paperwork back in my country, my son was added to the case. So now that I still have the conditional green card, am I allowed to file in for my son at this time?
Yes, you should file for him immediately. A lot of people think that because they have a conditional green card, they can't file for their relatives. That's not true. You can file for your son. If he's under 21, it'll take 2.5 years. You don't have to wait to remove the conditions. You can file as a conditional resident. You can even file as a conditional resident who's pending case to remove the conditions. You can even do that.
Yeah, because I verified for the removal of conditions. So now I was just thinking because my
answer was yes.
7 years.
My answer was yes. So we don't have to repeat it again. My answer was you can file. That's the answer. We don't have to go back and say yes. Well, blah 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 blah. My answer is yes. It's not changing. You are a conditional resident. File for your son. You should do so immediately.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good luck. All right. Let's go to Mohammed in Columbus, Ohio. Mohammed.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. What's going on?
All right. Yeah. I've been here since 2015, and I filed for asylum. But since then, nobody called me for interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm asking, what can I do to speed my process? That's the first question.
Okay.
Okay. And the second one is, I started a business here as a truck driver. I own my own truck, have a business. I'm wondering if I can get a green card through my business. Those are my two questions.
Okay. Number one, you can only self-petition yourself through your business if you're for a green card. If you've invested over $1 million in that business and hiring 10 employees, which I doubt you have 10 employees to drive your truck. So unless you have a huge trucking business, that's not gonna go. As far as
I can hear you very well, sir. Can you speak a little bit louder?
You don't hear me?
I'm sorry.
You don't hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Now you hear me.
Now I can hear you.
Okay. So I said you have to hire 10 U.S. workers. You have to hire 10 U.S. workers and invest over $1 million. So I said unless you have a huge trucking business, investing as a self-investor, that's not going to work for you. Now, as far as your asylum is concerned, I hope a couple people in the White House are actually listening. Here's a human being who filed for asylum. All the bad asylum people who started their own business and is helping the U.S. economy, but that's a whole other story. Okay? Let's talk about you personally. You personally, government has what's called a LIFO. No, it's not a LIFO. It's called last in LIFO, correct. Last in, excuse me, I got confused for a second. I'm still on Vietnam time. They have a last in, first out policy for asylum. So they're trying to discourage people from filing for asylum. So how do they discourage people from filing asylum? As soon as you file, you get an interview. You don't even have an opportunity for a work permit. So they're trying to move forward, try to discourage people from filing asylum. So last person in gets the first interview. So what does that do for people who've been waiting since 2015? They're going to wait longer and longer and longer. So you have two choices. Okay? You can wait and just do your thing, and eventually you'll get an interview. I don't know when. Maybe next year, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years, who knows? Or two, you can do what I tell lots of people to do. File a mandamus. Okay? In this day and age, you got to file mandamus actions. You file, it's such a simple thing to do. You file a mandamus, you bring your case in federal court. The government's been pending my asylum case for 5 years. I want a decision one way or the other. Now, and for asylum cases, you're really only going to do that if you have a slam dunk case. Otherwise, you're probably risking being put in removal and having to deal with the immigration judge. So I would certainly, before I tell you go file asylum, I would certainly tell you let's discuss the bona fides of your asylum claim first. So hold on 1 second, okay? Hold on.
Okay, and I want to ask.
Oh, he had one more. He had two questions and now a third. Mohammed, I'm back to you. What's your third question? Quickly.
Okay, if I file a mandamus, it's like basically suing the government. That's what it is.
That is exactly what it is. But you're not suing them for money.
They won't retaliate.
Well, the retaliation is you're denied. I'm putting you in removal. So that's the retaliation. But they still have to follow the law. So that's why I said I would evaluate your asylum case before you do it, because unless you have a bona fide, solid, really good asylum case, I wouldn't suggest doing it. Because if you have a borderline asylum case, you're getting put in removal.
Okay.
All right? So that's why I said in your particular case, in other people's cases, I would give different advice. But in your particular case, I would evaluate your asylum case first. So hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's go to Paul in Indianapolis, Indiana. Paul.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
What's going on?
I got two things. I come here on October 2nd, 2016.
Uh-huh.
And I was applied for asylum in January.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been here, but they don't open the case yet. I go to court, but the judge they don't open the case yet, and then I don't get no work permit, nothing.
When was this?
That's January, January 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I've been here. I don't have no work permit. They don't say nothing. They don't open the case. Anytime I check, they say they don't open the case yet. They don't make no decision yet. And then in December 2017, I got married with my wife here, but she's a green card holder.
Right.
And I don't know what to do. What do you think I can do now?
I think your wife
because
should.
I'm not working. I don't know what to do now.
I don't know why you haven't heard anything for your asylum case. Because if your case is pending more than 180 days, you should get a work permit.
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah,
I know they don't. They don't. I don't know what you did. I don't know who they are. I don't know who helped you. I'm just telling you generally, the general answer is if you have an asylum case pending more than 180 days, you're entitled to a work permit. So my answer to you is I don't know what you did. I don't know what they did. Now, as far as should you get married? Yes. Should your wife file for you? Yes. I don't know what happened to Theodore. He got disconnected somehow. Okay, but I hope he's listening.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. I'm going to give him his answer right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the answer is you need to check with us or a good lawyer what's going on with your asylum case. Get your work permit because you're not going to get an interview for a while anyway. You're entitled to your work permit. And number two, let your wife file for you because in 2 years you're going to get a green card anyway through your wife. But get a work permit in the meantime because she's only a resident. All right, let's go to Theodore in Montgomery Village, Maryland. Theodore.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, sir. And yourself?
Good, good. What's going on?
I come in the USA in 2015, and my mother she was granted for asylum, but my family went through a very long story in my country. And my mom got granted for asylum, and my sister as well. And now my mom is a U.S. citizen. My sister is a airman. She's in the Air Force. And then I come in the USA in 2015. And then I filed for the asylum because all my family went through the same story in Cameroon. And then later on, I found my wife, and then we got married in 2016. And can you hear me?
I'm listening.
Yeah, and I applied for my adjustment status on September 2016.
Right.
And I got my interview like almost a year after that, in June 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And the officer during the interview said that he said
you have to withdraw the asylum case. That's what he told you.
Yeah, I did. That's the first thing I did.
Okay.
But during my interview. The officer said that he agreed, like what's the right word to say that?
He agrees it's a bona fide marriage. He says everything's good with your marriage. So what's the problem? You don't have a green card yet?
Not yet. Until that, but my interview was on June 2017, and then he says the interview went good, and he gonna.
Okay, so this is the answer. All right, so this is the answer. All right. By the way, you could have asked that all in one sentence. I went on an interview I haven't heard. That's your question. I went on my interview. The officer said everything's good. I haven't heard in a year and a half. That's your question, basically, right?
Yeah, but yes. They called me later on, like a year after that. They sent me a call in later.
They sent you a what?
Another interview. A call in.
Okay, so obviously, whatever happened on that interview, either you heard wrong or the officer was lying to you because they called you for a second interview. Now, what happened on the second interview?
Say that again.
I said you went on one interview, and on that interview, you just told me the officer said everything's wonderful, but apparently everything wasn't wonderful because they called you for a second interview. So either you heard wrong, or the officer was lying to you. And I said to you next, what happened at the next interview?
To the next interview, they said during when they was reviewing the case, they found a discrepancy in between my asylum application and my adjustment of status application.
So they're saying now you lied somewhere. What was the discrepancy?
Yeah.
What was the discrepancy?
The discrepancy because on the asylum application, I said I was arrested and beaten and tortured in my country, and on the marriage application,
you said you were never arrested.
I never been arrested. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
And
so now they think you lied on the asylum application or that you lied on the adjustment. And that's like a core thing. And by the way, maybe it was an innocent mistake. Maybe you hired somebody else to do this. I don't know. But it's a very good lesson for everybody to know. Everything you write to the government, they have copies of for the rest of eternity. And they go back and look at everything. And if there is a discrepancy, you will be denied for misrepresentation. And by the way, this is an important discrepancy. Because in one application, you said you were arrested and beaten. And in your adjustment, you said you were never arrested. And maybe you were answering it differently. I was never arrested on a criminal basis. I don't know. Is that maybe it was an innocent mistake by you? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But they're going to claim it wasn't an innocent mistake. They're going to say misrepresentation. So now you need a waiver. Is that what they asked for?
Okay, they say they wanted me to explain the discrepancy,
Okay,
and
I
try to. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I would not say any more at this point. I would call a lawyer because you don't want to now have a third explanation, right, on live digital show, because now you're stuck to that explanation for the rest of eternity. So you got to think about what you meant. And that doesn't mean, and I'm not saying to tell you to lie or anything. What I'm saying to you is when you call on a show, you got to think about what you meant by both sides. So I would hold on one second, okay? I wouldn't have you talk anymore.
Okay.
All right. It's very good, people don't realize, I'll just fill out a form and send it in. Mm-hmm. And look at that. Innocent mistake.
Innocent mistake.
Totally screwed.
Yeah.
Because you file an asylum case and you say, hey, I was arrested and beaten. And then you file an adjustment that says, have you ever been arrested? And maybe he's thinking, I don't know, because I put him on hold, because I don't want him to say something that he not thought through.
That he can't take back.
Can't take it back.
Yeah.
That lives on the internet forever and ever.
Correct.
Right.
All right. Maybe he was thinking, and I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. Because it was me.
Right.
This is how I would be thinking.
Right.
Yeah, I was never arrested on a criminal charge. The answer is no. Nobody ever arrested me for drugs, or I never robbed a bank or anything. So have I ever been arrested? No.
No.
But that's not the question. Have you ever been arrested?
Yeah.
The answer is yes. And I was arrested for some political motivation that had nothing to do with me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It was, but not because I committed a crime. But the answer is I got arrested.
Right.
So now he has a problem. All right, let's go to Neil in Dallas, Texas. Neil.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah. So I had a question, two questions. One is I'm on F1 visa, student visa. I'm from India.
Right.
And I want to know, my visa is about to expire, but I want to keep my study further. Like I'm trying to do my master's now. I'm in bachelor's right now. From spring 2020, I'll be doing a master's in business administration.
Right.
And I want to know, do I have to file any extension form to extend my status, or is my I-20 okay to just keep studying?
What was on your original visa when you entered?
Visa was until December 2020.
Okay.
2019.
Okay, and it had duration of status or duration of studies.
Duration of status is,
right.
It says, duration of status.
Fine. So as long as you have duration of status, you can keep studying with the I-20. There's nothing to file. Now, if now remember, what a visa is, a visa allows you to cross a border. And then when you cross the border, they put a stamp in your passport. They say how long you're allowed to stay in America. So they said, stay as long as you're studying. So get the I-20, you're fine. Now, if you want to travel back to India and come back again after 2020, whenever your visa expires, then you're going to need a new visa at the U.S. Embassy.
Okay.
You understand?
And Okay, and another question is, my dad is in India, and I have some cousins here who are trying to invest in some real estate. So if I want to just a real estate as an investor, I'm not going to work for them or work in that company.
As long as you're a passive investor, that's not a problem. Okay.
Yeah, can I open an LLC?
No. I mean, you can open an LLC, but now you're starting to get into what are you doing here as a passive investor? You want to make an investment. You can certainly make an investment as soon as you are actively employed in the United States or actively working in the United States in a job, and that could be investing. There's a question of when does passive investment become employment in the United States of America. Yes, you can open up an LLC as long as you are a passive investor. You are not actively working in the United States.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
And second thing is, my cousin just got married to United States citizen, and he's also here, and he's studying.
Right.
But his file is on adjustment of status, and he should be receiving his EAD within 3 months because he applied in January, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but it's taking about 5-6 months now.
Right. Now, can he also invest once he gets his EAD or not?
Yes, and he can work in the company too.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's what my question was, and I have been following you since like 6 months, and I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Best of luck. Okay. All right, let's go to, that was like a long-term listener, first-time caller. Right. You're here on call-in radio, right?
I know.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get people to start doing that.
Yes. I've been listening 6 months, right?
Right. I get a lot of messages saying that I always watch, but I never comment.
Y'all, peek out that comment closet for us.
Yes.
We want to know who you are.
I actually think there's more people who watch than Facebook and YouTube tell us.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I really do.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to Natalia in Easton, Pennsylvania. Natalia.
Hi, good evening.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. Actually, I'm very nervous.
Okay, me too.
I came here. I came here as a baby. A couple days before my second birthday.
Okay.
I did not know it until like my early 20s.
Mm-hmm. Who kept this information from you? Your mom or dad, or you live with somebody else?
My mother.
Your mother. Okay. How old are you now?
36.
Okay. And your mom did nothing to help you ever in your lifetime to get legal?
No.
Okay. And, and I just have a few questions. I get the concept. You came as a baby, you lived your life here, and they kept this from you until you became an adult. And then you found out you're out of status and you're like, holy shit, what the hell just happened to my life? I get it.
Right.
And unfortunately, you're not the first person. Where are you from, by the way? What country?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay. So now my question is this. Did mom or dad ever get a green card? Did they ever try to get a green card?
Actually, my dad is now a U.S. citizen, and my mother now has her green card, which she got through my brother.
Okay. And your dad got his green card, he's now a citizen, but he got his green card through your brother as well?
No, it's a different father.
Okay, how did your
he got it through his marriage.
Through his marriage. Was he married to a citizen or a resident?
I'm not sure. I don't really know her like that.
All right. Now, you're 36. You've been here since you were 2. I assume you graduated high school. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So did you get DACA?
No.
Why not?
Because my lawyer, as soon as I found out, my father and I contacted an immigration lawyer just to get this thing fixed.
Right.
And this is like 2009-ish, 2009. DACA wasn't approved yet.
Right. It was in 2012. You had to be under 30 on June 15, 2012, which you were, if I'm doing my math right. And you had to be here before you were 16. If I'm doing my math right, you were. And you had to graduate high school, which you did. So you would be eligible for DACA.
Right, but my lawyer told me not to do the DACA. He said that would... We started with the I-130 as soon as we, hooked up with this lawyer.
All right.
And he told me, don't do the DACA because it's going to start the process all over again and be even longer. I'll be even longer out of status.
Okay, that makes no sense. All right, we'll continue because I don't need to bash a lawyer right now who makes no sense. We just want to help you.
Right. So now,
so dad filed for you.
Right.
Okay.
So
he filed. He did
finally,
this in 2009, I assume.
Right.
Okay.
The I-130 didn't get approved till 2011.
Okay, but it's approved.
It's approved.
And you're single.
Yes.
Okay. And now you're eligible for a green card, right?
Right. I filed the 485, the 765,
You're not
and the
eligible.
I-131
You're not eligible for that. Who told you to do that?
via the visa bulletin.
Okay.
And that the visa date
You're not
came.
eligible. You're going to get denied and possibly put in deportation now. Because
My interview is next week.
you're not eligible to adjust because you're over the age of 21. You have to be 245I eligible, which unless your dad was married to a resident and that resident filed for your father before you were 21 and you were under 18 at the time of marriage, I don't know how you're 240.
I believe he was a citizen before. He was a citizen before I was 21.
Okay, no, that's not. You have to be 245I. Okay, you are Natalie. Okay, your
Yes.
entire life, okay, is in the United States of America. Let me just think about this for a second. Okay, you have nothing back in Jamaica. You know nothing about Jamaica. You never lived in Jamaica. You're as American as I am.
Exactly.
Why in the world would you take a chance and just start filing random forms, which, by the way, you're not eligible to file for, to get a green card and fuck up your whole life? Why would you do that?
Because that's what the lawyer said to do.
Your lawyer's an idiot. An idiot. You're not eligible to adjust. In order for you to adjust, I don't mean to make you upset. I'm just telling you the reality. Okay? In order for you to adjust your status, and I'm sorry to make you cry, okay, but in order for you to adjust your status, you have to be married to a U.S. citizen, be a child under the age of 21 of a U.S. citizen, which you're not. Okay? Unless you were under 21 when your dad filed for you and he was a citizen, you're not eligible to adjust. Unless you're 245I. What's 245I? 245I is that your mom or dad had filed for you before April 30th, 2001, or you were in a category that you were eligible to be included on your mom or dad's application before 21, neither of which sounds is the case. So you need to do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. Now, obviously, home is Pennsylvania for you, not Jamaica, but that's what the law says.
So he told me, so my interview is on June 11th. The 131 just got approved. Even though I filed in 2017, it just got approved like last week and just came to me in the mail the other day. My lawyer is saying that I have to travel back to Jamaica and come back before my interview or my application is going to get denied.
No, that's even stupider. It has nothing to do with that. Okay? Your lawyer is giving you bad advice over bad advice over bad advice. Okay, the answer to you right now, that would be the advice if you are married to a U.S. citizen, you entered without inspection and need an inspection certificate in order for you to adjust your status. But you coming back on a parole visa doesn't make you legal to adjust your status. Just stupid advice. So the only thing that I would do if I were you is A, fire this lawyer because he's giving you terrible advice. You're better off handling it yourself. Your pinky knows more than your lawyer. Okay? And number two, this is how I would handle it. I would have us go, or have a good lawyer go with on the interview and say, we made a mistake. We filed an adjustment application that shouldn't have been filed. Give us an opportunity to file the provisional waiver for you to go home and come back. Don't put this woman in removal. I mean, if you are put in removal, we're not going to get you deported. You're not going to get deported. We're going to ask a judge to give you time. But why do you want to go through that process? But you need to do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. Unless you're in love with a man, when you can marry that man. Are you in love with a man or a woman, or it doesn't matter? No. Okay. So then you're going to rely on your dad's application. And I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because you have gotten really bad, it's not even luck, it's just bad karma for you, in the sense, as far as immigration is concerned. You have parents who didn't do anything for you when you were younger, didn't tell you about your situation until you were grown up, and then you went to a lawyer who's an idiot. So I feel bad for you. Luckily for you, if there's any luck in the world, you just called my program. Because if you didn't call my program, and you'd be in worse shape. Okay? So the luck is that your karma is now going to change. Moving forward, if you listen to me, your karma will change. You'll be on an upward trajectory on good karma. And we'll get it straightened out for you. But your trajectory right now is not good. All right? And I don't mean to get you upset. I don't want to stress you out. I don't mean to even, if I raise my voice, I apologize. I get excited. I'm not yelling at anybody. Okay, I'm very passionate. But we got to straighten you out. And the answer for you is you need a provisional waiver. You're not eligible to adjust. Okay? And if you get the provisional waiver, you'll go home and come back. You'll be in Jamaica in a hotel for 10 days. Okay? But you'll come back. Okay? You'll see all your children.
So how do I get the provisional waiver? Like, where do I get that from? How do I get that?
Okay. You have a consultation with us tomorrow or Monday. Hold on one second. We'll tell you everything. Hold on. All right? All right.
Whew.
Oh,
my God. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Abdi in Boston. Abdi.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
And I have like two questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first question, like December 2016, I felt like 130 like petition my wife and children.
Right.
Until now, I didn't get like approved or denied.
Where's your? Are you a citizen?
As a green card holder
Okay. And where are you from?
from Ban country, Somalia.
Somalia. And
Yeah.
and when did you file for your wife and children?
December 2016.
And how did you get your green card?
My father.
Your
because
father.
My father is here like 30 years ago.
Okay. And you got it as a single man?
Yep.
Okay. And then you married your wife after you got your green card, I assume?
When I become United States, yeah. After that, yeah, like
After that.
6 months or 1 year, yeah.
Okay.
After that,
And how old is your children?
like 3 years, 2 years. It's like less than 5 years.
Okay.
All of them.
So you filed back in December 2016, yet the government says if you filed before May 15th, 2017 as a green card holder for your children and wife, they're eligible for a green card immediately. Okay? So that means that
Yep.
had the government actually done their job properly, your wife and children should have been here 5 months ago. And meanwhile, you're still waiting for an I-130 to get approved. What does this
Still,
prove?
yeah, that's-
You know what it proves, Abdi? That Donald Trump, Department of Homeland Security, USCIS, says people from, I'm not saying your shithole country, I have friends from Somalia, okay? But people from shithole countries we never going to approve anybody. You know, and Abadir, who was on the show when we had a segment of Abadir Sues the Government, he says a green card, a visa delayed is a visa denied. So what is he doing? He's denying your wife and children when they should have been here 5 months ago. They haven't even approved it yet. So you have three resolutions.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, you can do what I'm going to do right now, which is sit on my hands and do nothing and just wait.
Okay.
Okay. Number two is you can call immigration. Hey, what's going on? Call my congressman. Hey, what's going on? Call my senator. What's going on? And just lose your hair like I did. Or three, which is what I would do, and I say this time and time again, you sue the government. You're eligible. Your wife and children should have gotten a green card 5 months ago, and you're still waiting on a visa approval.
Yep.
You file a mandamus action, you'll get it approved in 90 days. Hold on.
Okay.
There's nothing. In other words, and the point why I know it would be approved in 90 days or less.
Yep.
There's nothing to argue on the government side. What are they going to say? No, he's not entitled. They're not entitled to a green card. No, it's completely reasonable to wait 3 years for a visa approval when the family's entitled to a green card. It's completely reasonable for them to continue to delay giving something that they're legally supposed to do. There's nothing for them to say. As soon as you file a lawsuit, the government's going to say, okay, give us 90 days, we'll approve it. What are they going to say to a judge?
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Yep.
Let's go to Charles in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Charles.
Hey, what's up, man? I have a question to ask.
Yes.
I have a 10-year green card. I got it through marriage. I was divorced back in 2013. Me and my wife, we don't get along, so she has a restraining order against me. I want to apply for my citizenship. Will that be a red flag?
She has a restraining order against you. Were you arrested?
Yeah, but the judge threw it out because he said she provoked me. He threw it out.
Are you sure it was thrown out?
It. I'm positive I have the disposition.
Okay. And where did this happen?
New Jersey.
In New Jersey. And when did you get your green card again?
I got my green card back in 2010. I have a 10-year green card.
You have a 10-year green card. And tell me when your wife had this restraining order against you.
Back in 2013.
Okay. And how long was the restraining order for?
In New Jersey, it's permanent, but the judge told me I should have filed a motion to get it removed. I didn't do that because I just couldn't bother with the court situation.
All right. Well, you got to do it. Because you can't prove
So
good.
I gotta
All right. First of all, the law says if you have a restraining order against you, you can't prove good moral character. Ever. And that's the law. If you can't prove good moral character, you know what you need to be a U.S. citizen? Have good moral character. So you're going to go and you get denied time and time and time again. Are you deportable? No, because the case was thrown out. But you can't prove good moral character if you have a restraining order against you. So you got to have it. You got to have it taken off first before you even talk about citizenship.
So if I get it removed, I could try and file for citizenship.
Well, you need to prove 5 years good moral character. Then you got to wait 5 years. If you want to be guaranteed, you can try filing before, but they can use that still against you.
Oh, okay. No,
All right. So you got to get it off first before you do anything.
Okay.
All right. Hold on one second if you
All
don't
right, thanks, man.
You're welcome. All right. Let's go to Mellet in Lincoln, Nebraska. Mellet.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question, honestly. I'm a psychic. Can I travel with a travel document? Is this safe to travel?
You said you're a psychic?
No, I say, is this safe to travel? I'm a psychic.
Oh, Siley. I said, if you're a psychic, I said, great. We're getting rid of the magic 8 ball, and we're calling this guy in.
Every day.
Every day. All right. All right. So you're the Siley.
Oh, I'm a psychic.
Yes.
Can I travel with a travel document? Is this safe to travel?
Yes, but not to the country that you're claiming asylum from, because then they would say, they would take out, I wish I had my bullshit buzzer. They don't give it to me. Because if you get a travel document and you file for asylum and you say, my life is in danger if I go back to my home country, I'm going to be tortured, I'm going to be put in jail, yet you take a leisurely trip to see your family for 2 weeks and come back, they're going to take, at the airport, they're going to take out the bullshit buzzer and say bullshit on the asylum. So you can't go back to your home country. But you can travel elsewhere.
When can I apply for a green card?
What?
If I'm a psychic. When can I apply for a green card? When I am eligible for a green card?
1 year after you're approved.
Can I apply for 10 months or 9 months?
No, you got to wait 12 months.
Oh, okay. Right. So one more thing. Can I get married outside the country if I'm a psychic?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
Oh, by the way, if you get married, you can't include your wife because you got married after you got the approved for the asylum. So you got to wait to get your green card and then file for her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Travanis in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Hi, Mr. Bernstein?
Yes.
I'm okay. I'm trying to find out. I'm unable to find my 102, my 94, I-94. So I was looking up and I found out I could file an I-102. Can I file it with my 485, 765, the I-30?
Let me ask you a question. You have your passport?
I do, but I don't have the white piece of paper they said I need for the I-94.
Do you have a visa and a stamp in your passport?
I do have the stamp, but what happened, my passport got wet, so it's kind of blurry, but it says February 7, 2013.
As long as you have the stamp, you don't, and you have a copy of the visa, you don't need the I-94. Don't worry about it. Just file with the copy.
I don't?
Of the stamp. No, just file with the copy with the visa and the stamp, and you're fine.
Okay, perfect. Right. That saves me money. I just got the money. Another question I have, I am married. Yesterday was 2 years since I've been married, and I'm about to file my.
Yeah, you're going to get a 10-year
green card.
You're going to get a 10-year green card.
Right, but what happened is my husband and he had an altercation with me, and I have a restraining order against him. I don't know if he can still come and live at the house, but he cannot make any. He cannot harm me.
You have to have the restraining order lifted first before you file.
Before I file.
Correct.
That's okay. Next thing, my lawyer. I have a lawyer, advocate lawyer, who does the VAWA. So she wanted to do a VAWA thing with me, so I could get it that way. Do you think that that's the best way to get it, or Should I just lift the restraining order?
Okay, this is my answer. Okay, if you were physically abused from your spouse and your life, is in danger, and you are an abused spouse or were an abused spouse, I don't understand why you would be living with your husband. Let me finish. And you would file a VAWA.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
If you had a situation, you're forgiven, you love the man, you live with him, and you feel that everything is okay, you are not in any zone of danger, whatever that may mean, but you're not in any physical harm or extreme mental harm. You live with this man, and you love him, and he loves you.
Yes, we have a child together also.
Okay, and you love him, and he loves you. Why would you file a VAWA? Just let him file for you.
Okay, but I would have to lift this restraining order in order to.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bernstein. I appreciate it. You have a beautiful day. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's go to Aaron in Long Island. Aaron.
Hey, how are you today?
How are you?
All right. I have a question about a K1 fiancé visa. I applied for my fiancé on May last year, and everything approved through USCIS Visa Center, and yet she had an interview in March of this year, and she got denied under the section of 212, which was the willful misrepresentation.
What was the misrepresentation?
I don't know. I asked. I even went to Congress.
Well, she has to know what it is. She's got to know what it is. Ask her.
Well, they asked her only 3 questions. It was basic questions. Her interview wasn't even under 5 minutes.
Does she know why she was denied?
She doesn't know.
Okay, what country is she in? What country?
Ethiopia.
Okay. Has she ever applied for a visa before?
No.
This is the first time she ever applied for a visa?
Yes.
And they denied her for misrepresentation?
Yes.
Okay. How long ago was this?
This was March, so it's been 3 months. I've been going through Congress.
All right. So now you come through me. We'll call the embassy in Ethiopia and find out what the misrepresentation is. Okay, so hold on 1 second. That's what you need to do. Hold on. I don't know what it is, but we'll call and find out. All right, so hold on. All right. With that, Belgium, Kim, and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elliott.
Yes.
All right. I think we're going to need to get to something we like to call social media checking.
And my God, are the people checking in?
They're checking in. I see you making faces over there.
My God.
I see. Do we need to do a speed round with 200 questions today?
It may be that.
It may be that. Oh yeah, yeah.
Because we had I gotta be honest, Brad. Before we ever started to schmooze, we had 38 questions. That was before we started. That's before most people knew we even answered immigration questions. People didn't even know they were watching an immigration show at that point.
All right. Yeah. Luckily for me,
yeah.
When I was flying back from Vietnam, I was smart enough to buy additional tickets for me to return to Vietnam. My plane leaves in an hour.
See ya in 3 weeks.
That's right. No, we won't do that. All right, let's go. Social media check-in. Let's see how much we can do.
Tanika Ogle said, I came here on an F1 visa and I'm still within status. I'm planning to get married in Vegas. My fiance is a U.S. citizen. However, he's residing in Washington, D.C. Is it going to be a problem when I'm filing with USCIS because of the different states?
Yes, you got to live together.
Lai says, my auntie left, maybe lives?
Lives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lives in the USA, and she wants me to visit her. She sent me a letter invitation last year in December and got rejected to the interview, so now I want to apply again. How can I do this? I just want 1 month to visit her and see the family, please. I need help.
You got to prove, it's not what you're coming here to do, it's are you going to leave? So let me tell you the help. Prove you have a good job, prove you have property, prove you have enough things pulling you back to whatever your country is, that they have confidence that you are going to leave at the end of your 1 month trip.
So Sabrina is filing for her spouse who lives in Jamaica. She lives here. She says, how do I go about showing proof that we live together and that we've got joint finances? We have a joint bank account in Jamaica that I transfer funds to every month, and we've rented an apartment together. We live together when I travel back to Jamaica, but I travel back and forth every few months because I still got to be in the U.S. to manage my household.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You can't prove you live together because you don't. You live in America. She lives in Jamaica. What you got to do is prove you have a relationship, just like anybody else. Here's proof of my traveling. Here's all our pictures together every time we travel together. Here's proof of our communications, emails, text messages, phone bills, whatever you got.
Oriella says, I recently got deported from America due to illegal entry under fake documents 212A6CI. I have a petition for relatives that's recently got approved, the I-130. I have a domestic violence misdemeanor due to arguments with my wife 13 years ago. We're still together, though. Am I going to have difficulty to move forward with my case? What should I do at this point?
Is this for citizenship?
Just saying that they got deported. So he says that the petition got approved for the I-130 got approved.
The I-130 got approved?
Yeah.
Why did he get deported?
Fake documents.
Well, he has a deportation problem and he has a misrepresentation problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if the misrepresentation was fake document U.S. citizen, he's never coming back. If it's more than 13 years, then he's going to need to file 2 waivers. Will those waivers be approved? I don't know. Perhaps this guy knows, but I don't know. We would need to have a consultation and see how strong those waivers are going to be.
Gotcha.
We've got a question from Saul who said, could you tell me more about the new stamps that they're putting in people's passports upon arrival at the airport that are saying that you cannot file for an adjustment of status? Is that accurate? And if so, what is that about?
They are saying you can't adjust. They believe that there is a possibility that you're coming into the United States to get a green card. So instead of deporting you, they're saying you can't adjust. You have to leave. Now, just because they put that stamp in your passport doesn't mean you're not eligible to do so. You can still file, but you're going to have an extra burden to prove at the interview to USCIS that it was really your intent to just stay here in the United States and visit and go home, and you change your mind after the fact.
Okay, Jean-Marc says, hey guys, my question is, for how long does it take for USCIS to process the I-130 as a green card holder? I'm confused. Some say 1 year, some say 2.
Some say even 3, some say even longer. I've seen it all over the place. The government claims it's 10 months on average. That's BS. It's 1 to 3 years right now, unless you're going to file a mandamus.
Danny says, I've got a girlfriend who has a 19-year-old daughter. However, I read that if I married my girlfriend, her daughter would not be considered as my stepdaughter, so we decided not to go through with the marriage. Instead, I filed an I-129 fiancé K-1 visa petition, and her daughter under 21 is able to come with a K-2 visa. Is that right? And what kind of immigration law supports this?
Fiancé visa, that is correct. And then she would file as, instead of an I-130, you would file as other on the adjustment fiancé visa, and then she would be an accompanying to the fiancé visa. So that is correct. Smart by whoever did that.
Fantastic.
Dope. Yes. All right, we have one from Instagram by Transcending saying, in Barbados, how soon after the priority date becomes current do we have to wait for an interview?
It should be 1, 2, 3 months, hopefully.
I was charged with a crime. So I was born in Pakistan and became a citizen of Peru. I became a permanent resident of the U.S. in 2012 based on marriage, which ended in divorce. But in June of 2016, I was arrested for aggravated harassment and for threatening over the phone. All of the charges were sealed. I filed for my citizenship based on a 5-year residency and passed the interview in November, but now I still have not heard anything. They're not telling me anything new. Would you please advise me on my next course of action?
Did he have a conviction prior to that, or is it only the 2016 case was dismissed?
It doesn't say that he has any other prior convictions.
Okay, so it's a good moral character issue. You got to prove good moral character. So because he got arrested within the 5-year period. So your course of action is, let us review your case, Let's determine that you were able to prove good moral character, and then we file literally what would be if your pending citizenship is more than 120 days after an interview, and you can prove good moral character, I would not file a mandamus. I would file what's called a de novo review. And what a de novo review is, you take the citizenship case out of the hands of immigration and let a federal court judge decide. Now, why is that? De novo means I'm going to look at this all over new. It's either Latin or I don't know, whatever legal language they use. These lawyers use
Right.
Latin.
Typically.
Yeah, right, whatever they use. Okay. De novo means new. At least that's what I'm told. Okay. So they're going to look at the judge is going to look at this brand new. So then, when the judge looks at this brand new, you can bring in proof of your good moral character and become a citizen. Because probably you didn't do anything to prove good moral character, and you just gave them, here's my disposition, the case was dismissed.
Colin James says, do you need a waiver if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you overstay your visa?
No.
Isha Sese said, how long does it take to get a work permit once the biometric is done?
Well, it's not when your biometric is done. They're waiting about 5.5 months, 6 months now for a work permit.
Floyd Boyd says, I filed for my son before he was 21 since 2016. Now they're saying I have to wait 7 years. They say a visa was not ready for him when I filed, so he aged out. Can you shed some light on this?
Yes, you filed for him in the F2A category. Once he turned 21, he's no longer in the F2A category, which is a 2 to 3 year wait. He falls into the F2B category, which is a 7-year wait. That's what it is, unfortunately. You filed for him too late.
Marie received a status update that says that her new card is being produced. She thinks it might be for her work permit, but what does this mean, and how soon should she actually expect it? She already did her biometrics.
Produced means that you approved and takes 2 or 3 weeks to get it to you.
And is that the work permit or the green card?
Well, if she went for an interview, it could be the green card. If not, it's her work permit.
Okay.
Rococo Chocolat says, hey Brad, how long can I stay out of the U.S. when you're a citizen and can travel on my Jamaican passport to Jamaica and travel back to the U.S. on my U.S. passport?
Forever.
Okay, so he's hearing, or she, Rococo Chocolat is
yes.
A man.
Man, he's hearing a lot of different stories.
Chocolat's a woman.
Or she is
a woman. She's a woman.
She
really?
is.
Yes. Yes, she is a woman.
Every time.
I think she needs to be the next.
Yes, and she was she was our client, and she got a green card. That's why I know.
All right.
Okay,
So yeah, she's hearing a lot of stories.
Yes, and the story is, you're a citizen, you can stay out for life.
Cool.
You can travel for life, whatever you'd like.
Real cool. John said, I sent my forms for an I-130 off in October and received the receipt October 12th of 2018. Should I be receiving anything else in the mail soon, or at this point, is it just a waiting game?
It's a waiting game.
Okay, Aven. Sorry, we trying to figure out stuff.
Natalia,
Y'all so fast.
You got
it. All right.
Natalia call.
Aven Haven says, or Avon Heaven, says, good evening. I have applied for a K-1 visa for my fiance in Nepal. While preparing for documents, I got to know that I don't meet poverty guidelines 125% by $5,695, but I have around $32,000 in my bank.
That's not going to work.
Doesn't matter.
That's not going to work. If you had $1 million in the bank, it's a different story, because you can take 20% of the average of your net assets from the last year. So even 20% is like $5,000-6,000, and who knows if that was his average balance for the last year. All right, so I don't think that's going to work very well for him.
Tinka Singh, with our last question for this round, says, I owe back taxes, but I'm on an installment agreement with the IRS, so is that going to be a problem when I'm filing my citizenship?
Say it again?
Back taxes, so Tinka owes back taxes, but is on an installment plan with the IRS. Is that going to be a problem?
As long as you're on an installment plan, it's not a problem.
Okay.
All right. So with that, there was a Marshall Project, and it compared undocumented populations in the United States with local crime rates published by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and found areas with more unauthorized migration appeared to have bigger drops in crime. Completely different than what Donald Trump says. Actually, let me say that again. It was a study, a legitimate study by a nonpartisan group and they said people who live in areas where there's more undocumented immigrants, there's a lower crime rate. Now, our Miami field correspondent, Ana Azcona, is a Dominican American, and she grew up in a large immigrant community. And she has a few things to say about this study from her own personal experience. Let's watch.
Hey friends from the Brad Show Live, I'm Ana Azcona. Trump's anti-immigration fight has mainly focused on immigrants being criminals since he mentioned that Mexicans are rapists. He claims immigrants cross the border to kill innocent Americans. And during an anti-immigrant rant at a rally in Panama City Beach, Florida, he said, "The crime that comes in is unbelievable." What crime? Actually, the crime that these immigrants are escaping back home is what's unbelievable. Studies have shown there is no correlation between immigrants and crime rates raising. The Marshall Project looked at local crime rates published by the FBI, and with more unauthorized migration, there were lower crime rates. Okay, as someone who grew up in a migrant community with many immigrants who came into the town where I lived in, I can say that most of these immigrants don't want any trouble. They want to maintain a low profile. They're not trying to get in trouble. They're not trying to get caught and noticed by ICE or anyone from the government or law enforcement. So therefore, why would you assume that they're the ones creating the crime in this country? They're more afraid to break the law than US citizens. Getting in trouble with the law is going to put them at risk of getting noticed, being deported, not being able to remain in this country or apply for a visa. So therefore, they're going to avoid being in any mess that deals with crime or any felony or anything that's going to put them in trouble. Remember, many of these migrants are seeking asylum. They're not trying to deal with crime when coming to the US to start up a new life. These people are coming to America to find better opportunities, a better living, and a better future for themselves and their families. Also, I must mention that the majority of these migrants that may have broken the law is because maybe they've worked under the table and they've done the jobs that most Americans refuse to do. But how else do you expect these people to provide food for themselves, to provide clothes for themselves, or even a roof to live under? They have to work and make money somehow. You know, even though it is illegal and it is considered unlawful for them to work without documentation, I don't blame them for trying to get their money the right way. They're not robbing banks, they're not stealing from people, they're not killing people, and they're not selling drugs. They're basically the ones working in farms, working in factories, and trying to provide to their families for those who do have families. And let's not forget that 4 undocumented workers came up and admitted working for one of Trump's golf courses in Bedminster, New Jersey. So there you go. Even Donald Trump has hired undocumented immigrants. To sum it up, Trump's assumptions that migrants create crime just don't make any sense.
All right, so we have a ton of questions. There's no way I could humanly answer all of them. We're going to do 25 questions in a 5-minute speed round right now. And for everybody who we didn't answer questions, you can either, let's do our speed round first. Okay, there we are. Julian seems to want to get out of here fast today.
That's him right behind you.
Yeah, that's like he's not even letting me finish, right?
That's him.
He's like, speed round, boom, done. So for all of those who we can't get to your questions today, I promise you I'm going to be back tomorrow at 5:30. Get your questions in earlier, and if we have no questions tomorrow, we'll read the ones from today. Or you can call our show tomorrow, right, as soon as we go on.
Absolutely.
You can leave your question in the comment right when we go on. Or if we're light on the questions, which we never are, I'll read the ones from today.
Fan.
All right, so let's do 20, put 5 minutes on the clock. There it is.
Woo!
4 minutes. Oh, he's giving me 4 minutes. 5 minutes and 1 second on the clock.
I was gonna say we need every second.
All right, he's like, since Brad is on, Vietnam time,
right.
I'll give him 5 minutes and 1 second because his brain may not be working very well today. All right, 5 minutes are on the clock. Belgium Kim.
Yep.
I am going to step into my soundproof booth.
Please do.
Okay, I will not know. I will not know ahead of time these questions that are being asked.
I think you should not be in the soundproof booth.
You know what I need? You know what I should have done for this? I'm going to do this. I should have done this.
Okay.
You know, on the plane, they give you the little thing to...
Yeah.
I should have brought my little sleep thing that they gave me for free on the
We
plane.
should
I'm going to blindfold me. I'm going to be blindfolded from now on during the speed round. It's just funny.
Just in case you guys are thinking, he's got all the pages of all the legal code everywhere.
I don't want people to think like I'm looking somewhere at the answers. So I think I should blindfold myself.
These are easily Googleable answers.
And put me in a soundproof booth.
How are you going to hear us?
I don't know, but Jill.
We might as well be blindfolded
Jill,
too then.
Jill, in addition to the gong, I would like you to go on Amazon and look for a soundproof booth, please. I would like that to be in the studio tomorrow. I would like to step into my soundproof booth and do
I'm
the
mad
speed
you're
round.
actually looking it up. Kim is actually looking it up right now.
I gotta know.
Yes, there is a soundproof booth.
Oh, wow.
That would be hilarious.
For a mere $49.
$49. I'm gonna.
wow.
Yes.
No, it's for a mic though. I don't think you'll fit in it.
We'll get a soundproof booth, and you're gonna put the thing that they give you for free on the plane when you want to go to sleep on a long flight.
Right.
What is the thing called? The eye
sleep
mask.
Yeah.
All right, ready? 5 minutes. I'm going to have my eyes open, and I'm not in a soundproof booth right now. We'll see how I do. Go.
Queen of my castle, if your green card is expired and you're on child support but you're not paying it, can you go ahead and renew your green card?
You can, but you may have a problem in the future.
Chris, my fiance just acquired her U.S. citizenship, but we have always lived outside of the U.S. She was born outside of the U.S. Does she have to be living in the U.S. to file an I-130 form after marriage?
No, but you have to prove that she will be living with you in the United States after you get your green card.
My boyfriend was arrested in the U.S. and he was a green card holder. He served 5 years and then they deported him back to Jamaica and they said that he had a 10-year bar after which he can come back to the U.S. Now that 10 years is over, can I file for him?
Depends why he was deported.
B-Bow says, my U.S. citizen husband hasn't filed his taxes in 2 years. If I get a joint sponsor, does he still have to submit the I-864 with supporting documents?
Yes.
Mass Dia said, I was denied in 2016 after getting an NOIR. I sent more evidence in November of 2018, and I got a response saying that they're working again on my case, but it's been 5 months. What should I do?
File a mandamus or sit on your hands.
Jeng Jeng says, I was married last September 2018, then my husband wanted to divorce me, then I haven't got my social security or my green card yet, so I came here with a B1 visa. Then I would like to ask what will happen will I get deported, I think, or what if I fall in love again to marry again? What am I supposed to do?
You can fall in love, make sure you get divorced first, fall in love, and you'll get your green card.
Tally said, my friend had tested positive for latent tuberculosis. Can she get denied or should she stop the process?
She will get denied, but there is treatment for it. So generally what happens is that you get treated 3-4 months. I don't know however they treated antibiotics, whatever drugs they give you, and then you go back and you show you went through the treatments, and then you'll get through and get a green card.
Nashika Boyd says, if I'm married to a green card holder, can my son file for me still because my son is going to be a citizen before?
Yes.
Sam Makaya said, I did my fingerprints a month ago. How long should the work permit take?
4 more months.
Abdinafa says, how long will it take for the I-130 to pass? I'm a green card holder. I'm waiting for since 2016.
We talked to him on the phone, 12 to 36 months.
Okay.
That's the guy I told, file a mandamus or sit on your hands or call the, we're not going to, we're delaying our time.
Yes, go.
Yeah, Ellie said, I got here on a J1 visa last 2017, applied a B2 visa after the expiration of the J1, and I'm still in the U.S. Somebody now wants to sponsor me on an EB3 visa. Should I go back to my home country for my sponsor to apply for the EB3, or can I stay here and apply for it while I'm on the B2?
If you get everything approved and your priority date is current, you can stay here within 180 days of your overstay. Other than that, you're not going to be able to adjust, and then you can start getting barred. So it depends on what your situation is and how fast you can get your application approved.
Shango is asking for a friend. They have a simple assault charge for a dispute with their spouse. Will it deem domestic violence at the merits hearing? They have been married since and have another child.
It could certainly be a domestic violence.
Jean said, how long after sending in my I-751 to remove the conditions off my green card will I get a reply from USCIS? They received it this week, May 28th.
3 to 4 weeks.
Tanya, I got my green card recently, but they changed my last name to my husband's. Do you think I'll have a problem traveling because my last name on my passport is different?
No, travel with your marriage certificate and then you prove your both names.
Kay said, I didn't receive the receipt notice about my I-130. It was sent to the wrong address. I informed USCIS and they responded, but they still haven't gotten any notice yet. Can you tell me what I should do?
As long as it was a receipt and not an approval, just wait for the approval. They have your new address now.
John says, will my wife awaiting an answer for an I-130 petition able to come to the U.S. on a tourist visa or any other kind of visa?
If she has a visa, she could enter, but if she's going to try to apply, they're not going to deny her.
Vanny Boo said, my boyfriend applied for a citizenship in Atlanta in February of 2018, did his citizenship test February of this year and passed, but a decision cannot be made due to an arrest. But no charges were filed against him. He sent in evidence proving that, so he's still waiting. If we get married now and he goes back for another interview, is it going to affect him that he got married to someone who's overstayed their visa?
No, it has no effect on his citizenship.
Chica's asking for a friend who just got his 10-year green card and is living with his wife, a U.S. citizen. Now he wants to file a citizenship. Does his wife have to do anything on the citizenship, like an interview?
No.
Copper Clan says, I'm hearing that more than 4 million green card applications are going to be canceled.
Really?
And they will have to refile under a new points system. Is that true?
No, that's what Jared Kushner says he wants to do. It's never going to become law.
Am says, I'm Liberian. I live in Minnesota. I came to the U.S. with a K-1 fiance visa. I got married in 90 days period. My wife... Damn, that
God
was
damn
loud.
it. Let me take my blindfold.
Right.
How many did I get?
We had 3 left.
We had 3 left.
3 left. According to Jasmine McDonald, we have 8 left.
Well, we did skip a couple because they were
repeats. Or they had called.
Marge Hicks says 5 left.
It's 5 because we skipped 2.
All right, let's do 5.
All right.
Okay.
All right, you got to give me a break because we haven't practiced.
We haven't practiced, and you're in Vietnam time.
That's right.
I'm actually surprised you're this awake.
That is correct. We're like a sports team that hasn't practiced at all.
Yes. We're a little rusty.
We're a little rusty. In the middle of a speed round, I decided to have a conversation with Yannick.
Yeah. I was like, just go.
As I'm having a conversation, I'm like, this isn't going to work
why
out well.
Why are we doing this?
Yes.
And then why would a blindfold help that?
I have no idea. I just think it's cool to be blindfolded. It makes it more dramatic.
Okay. Live your life.
This immigration lawyer is answering the questions blindfolded.
Right.
Like, that's going to make a difference. All right.
He shows up to court blindfolded. It's
right,
a whole shtick.
Right. They're going to be like, boy, Brad's kinky on the show. I should do the blindfold on Wednesday. All right.
All right.
5 more quickly.
Yeah, so this is Am. I'm going to start over. I'm Liberian. I live in Minnesota. I came to the U.S. with the K-1 fiance visa. I got married within the 90 days period. My wife applied for my adjustment of status, and she was told to send her most recent tax papers within 87 days or else our case will be denied. It's been almost 75 days. My wife sent her tax paper to the USCIS. We don't have a problem at home. I have to talk with her on multiple times about sending her tax papers, but she seemed not to do it.
Did she do it or she didn't do it?
So now it's saying that he's asked her to send it, but she seems not to do it.
If she doesn't do it, you're going to get denied. I mean, you can't put a gun to the woman's head. So if she loves you, she'll do it. If she doesn't love you, she won't. Then you figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Funmi said, my husband filed for me and my daughter in 2016, and after our interview, we waited until 2019, and our I-130 was finally approved. My I-485 was approved, and I got my 10-year green card, but my daughter's green card still has not been approved after I was called to send her medical results. She did her fingerprint. What can we do? She's 14 years old.
Where is she?
It says, I'm not sure. It sounds like she's with mom.
She's in the United States and she has a pending adjustment, and it's been more than 120 days. The answer is you file a mandamus or you wait.
Okay, Benjamin says, from Ghana, my wife is born in America, but she is disabled for some time now. Should I present documents of her sickness to the CO at the interview for the CR1?
Why do you need to do that unless you need a waiver? And if she's not working because you need an affidavit of support, doesn't matter why she's not working. She's not working, you get a second affidavit of support. Wasn't that 5?
No.
No, it was not. That was
That was 3.
Boy, this speed round is taking 15 minutes.
Well, it's...
Julian's got to get the hell out of here.
In 2009, my wife's I-130 petition was approved, but the joint motion to reopen was not granted. Since 2010, my wife had been living under TPS. Now we filed a second joint motion to reopen. It was granted, and we see an immigration judge on June 18th. I'd like to know if I need to refile the I-485 petition now or wait for the judge's decision in the case.
Wait for the judge's decision. As long as you have the I-130 approved, you're okay.
Melissa says, my mother filed for me in 2014. I got approved. Where are they now with the F2B?
2000 and... That's the last question, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I got to Google it.
Of course.
To the visa bulletin.
To the visa... Exactly.
I feel like that's really a really good superhero tagline.
Right. Robin, to the visa bulletin, quickly.
To the visa bulletin we go.
Yes. They are up to February 1st, 2013.
Okay.
All right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, our first day back, I'm sure we have a bunch of comments of the day. Do we have some comments? We have 5 comments.
We have
5 comments of the day. All right, let's hear them.
Our very first one is from Leonora Smith-Brown, who said, "Welcome back. I missed you all. My husband was asking, what happened to you?"
I went to Vietnam. What happened to Brad? Is he
was
dead?
like, "You're not spending 2 hours with another man every day."
Right. Is he dead? Yeah, I don't have to be jealous anymore.
No, just for 2 weeks,
Yes.
though.
The jealousy
just for 2
is
weeks.
back.
All right, and our second one comes from Ma Duke saying, "Oh my God, my family is back.
Yeah,
I was in Bradshaw withdrawal. Now
that's right.
I got I got my drug back now.
That's right.
She said she's happy now.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. Glama, of course, commenting on the wonderful Willie L. Williams. She said, "I like a man who wore a uniform. He can wash, cook, and clean, and he used to taking orders."
That's right.
It's
true. I like it.
Listen, Willie is getting.
Willie's about to get some
I'm going to tell you something. We really gave him some props today.
Yeah,
Willie,
we sure
right?
did.
Yeah.
We sure did. All right, we have one from Ken Kibet saying, "I also want to say thank you so much to Brad. I filed my VAWA, still waiting on it, no problem, but mostly thanks, Brad, for reminding me and encouraging me to go to court for my kids. I now get to see them."
All right.
Yes, Ken.
Ben, he got through. He's been watching a long time and always asks questions about his case.
Yes.
I'm really glad.
I'm happy.
Glad. Congratulations. I like it.
Ken,
Congratulations.
we get family time.
That's right.
Amazing. And our very last comment of the day is also from straight out the comment closet, Shango Oya Ogun, who said,
Hey.
as I said earlier
The comment
in the
closet.
show. Yeah, that's what I call
Coming
it.
out
When
the
nobody
comment
came out of the closet.
When-
Okay.
As I said earlier in the show, stop doing immigration stuff on your own, even if it seems like a slam dunk.
Yes.
The climate has changed in immigration, if you know what I mean.
At least one person understands what I'm saying.
Man!
At least
Yes.
one person understands what I'm saying. Well, thank you all for watching. I'm glad I'm back. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to be back tomorrow, sometime a little bit after 5:30 or so, depending on how we feel.
Ish.
Right,
It's Friday
5:30-ish.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, Friday tomorrow.
We'll be back.
I don't
We'll be
know what
there
we
about
got planned.
4:45.
I don't. Friday time.
Friday
Right.
time.
I don't know what we got planned, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Can we
See you-
drink?
We could maybe drink. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800 LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What are you doing?